Could you tell us about how you felt about the issues that were raised this evening?
I think it was a great start. I think that to have the police force there, Caltrans, the DMV, I thought one of the greatest ideas came out of the DMV. I mean, having a TV commercial talking about bike safety, bike-car interactions, I really thought was great. In the middle of the meeting, I thought we might be getting bogged down a little bit with a little bit of the car-bike hostility issues, and I was starting to wonder if this is going to be non-productive. But I really thought that the people on the panel, plus the moderator, really were able to bring it back around and say, okay, lively conversation, next steps, really running the meeting well. So say, okay, we've had this conversation now, next steps. And people are going to commit to having something done by December 15th and being here next April. And so I'm actually very encouraged.
I think it was a great discussion, and it's good to see people from bicycle community, people from law enforcement, people from transportation be represented here. And I think they're all important issues, and we can see that there's some controversy, but it's good that all the parties affected are, I think, together here to talk about it. So one issue in the controversy that you mentioned was about funding for agencies to put dedicated bike lanes and for repairing potholes. How do you feel that can be addressed?
I don't have a lot of experience regarding funding or repair roads. I think some of the suggestions pertain more to logistics rather than distribution of funding. So one suggestion where it was suggested that there could be a hotline, for example, that you could call and report poor road conditions. So that was a really good idea.
Dr. Spink, could you please tell us how you felt about the issues that were raised this evening in the summit?
I think, they did a nice job of sort of covering this broad topic. There's a lot of different things we can talk about. I think ultimately it's good to just raise ideas. I think you're going to need to have some focused work on specific areas afterwards.
Are there any specific areas that you think is focused? Are any areas of focus in particular?
Well, there was a lot of talk about infrastructure, but personally, I don't think that's going anywhere. There's not money in the budget. It's a long-term project, and it's not going to get fixed easily. To me, the thing to focus on now is education. So somebody who moved here 10 years ago, I can tell you it took me 2 to 3 years to get used to thinking about bicyclists and joggers, for that matter, on the roads. They're just coming from the Midwest. They just weren't in my consciousness. And I think, I think a lot of effort on education, share the road, be aware. That's going to, I think, get you a whole lot farther than trying to, add bike lanes. I mean, we need to try and add bike lanes and everything, but those are expensive things. The education stuff, it can be done a lot quicker, and it's probably going to have a little more bang for your buck.
In the university, along those lines, behavior was a component that was raised. How these two can coexist. Do you think that the behavior of the motorists versus the bicyclists can change or needs to change, and which side needs to change more?
Well, it needs to change, and I don't know that there's a more or less. I don't think we have enough data to really identify that. I will say that one of the things that I observe as a cyclist is that when a motorist has a conflict with another motorist, they tend to pinpoint their anger at that motorist rather than all motorists. Yet when a motorist has a conflict with a cyclist, they tend to broad brush and include all cyclists as extensions of that conflict. And that's something that I would like to see resolved.
Okay, thank you for your time this evening.
Thanks. Nice meeting you.
I think it's great to see folks that are in the community is more than just like a cyclist, that they're involved with companies or larger groups that are there speaking to them directly, because as a public agency, especially as a transportation agency, you don't get that much interaction with the public. And so the more that there are these chances to hear from the public, there's really not many other forms for it. They have forms and whatnot you can fill out and official complaints, but in terms of having some responsiveness to public opinion, they never see the public, so they don't have to listen to it.
Great. Thank you for your time.